the right of every American citizen to be protected.
I just want to say this too. I've been watching you all on television for the last week, and you look great. The hair department, the makeup department, the lighting. This is clearly a union production. Lee and Gabrielle and myself know a good union production when we see one. I saw a sign a little while ago that said, "What would JFK do?" I've been carrying this quote with me all week. I'm guessing you've already heard it this week, but I think it's worth saying again. And Governor Walker, if you're listening right now, listen to these words. Those who would destroy or further limit the rights of organized labor, those who would cripple collective bargaining or prevent organization of the unorganized, do a disservice to the cause of democracy.
Let our vote and our actions here today serve as our reply. Engineers who design safe bridges and vehicles. Cure disease and find new technologies that make our lives better. We produce high school teachers, middle school teachers, elementary school teachers who care for our kids and shape the minds of the future generations of this state. We produce business women, accountants, and economists who strengthen Wisconsin's prosperity and create jobs. Together with nurses, therapists, and child care providers, we will let Wisconsin know that we live to work, but we will not work without a voice. Together with masons, carpenters, and pipe fitters, and all of our union brothers and sisters, we will fight to keep our rights and keep Wisconsin moving forward.
Furthermore, I quote the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Association of School District Administrators, Miles Turner, in his statement that was printed just this week in Education Week, when he said, "We, the Wisconsin School District Administrators, have never supported stripping all bargaining rights. This bill goes way too far. Let's return to collaborative democratic processes that have made Wisconsin a forerunner in the rights of workers and close the curtain on this nightmare that has been plaguing public workers for the last 2 weeks." Thank you.
We want you to know that the NAACP, we've always supported our firefighters, our policemen, our teachers, nurses, and all those persons that help to make America what it is.
I need to go back to my classroom on Monday.
Maybe I'll warm it up.
And be able to tell my students who said, "Johnson," now remember they're high schoolers, "get your ass down to Madison." And I need to be able to tell them, we have 100,000 plus people. Beautiful, beautiful snow-covered people who are willing to stand in these kind of temperatures and advocate for them and to tell Governor Walker exactly what is best for our students, for our future, for our workers.
Walker says that most of us here are from out of state. Okay, yeah. To that I say, Governor Walker, don't you know I'm not faking this Wisconsin accent. So Governor Walker, I'm also speaking as a die-hard Packers fan. And I want to tell you, you've ruined our Super Bowl celebration. And thankfully, certain Packers like Charles Woodson and others have taken a stand on these heads. They have blown their whistle and called this bill what it really is. Unnecessary roughness.
We built this house, right? make sure that doesn't happen. Also in this house, unfortunately, there are people that don't understand the concept of justice. But I stand here before you to tell you that we are on the right side of justice, and we are on the right side of history, and we are going to get the job done. I guarantee it. The firefighters, as well as the police officers in this state, are honored and humbled to stand with you, our brothers and sisters, in union, in unity, in justice. But this is not about the firefighters. No, this is not about the police officers. This is not about just you. This is not about me. This is about us. This is about a way of life. And this is not a movement. This is a direct attack on the middle class. This is a way of life that we've been living for over 75 years. And we have to continue to make sure that our house does not burn down, and we have to make sure that we take care of this job. We have to keep the energy going. We have to keep this going, not today, not tomorrow. We have to keep this going next year. We have to cure for the ills of democracy. It's more democracy. And I gotta tell you, this is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy.
2 years ago, I was being honored in this very Capitol building as a hero for being one of the pilots in the Miracle on the Hudson. But I'm here to tell you that on that day, there were many, many heroes. Pilots, flight attendants, air traffic controllers, firemen, policemen, crews of the ferry boats, EMTs. We didn't abandon those passengers to save themselves. We all work together to save everybody. That's a lesson that people in this Capitol building need to learn. All those trained professionals put aside the fear for their own personal safety to get the job done. And every one of them was a union member. Unions don't just provide employment contracts. Unions provide accreditation programs to support career growth, safety awareness programs to protect the public welfare. They provide in our business critical incident response teams for workers to turn to in their time of emotional turmoil. And representation, so a career is not subject to the political whims of a short-term elected official. Unions help their people do their jobs better. I'd like to talk to you today about one group that has touched my family's lives. I'd like to talk about the educators in my hometown of Oregon, Wisconsin. These professional men and women who have devoted their lives to develop and nurture our future, our children. And they have given my children and myself a priceless gift. I have watched my kids grow into responsible, intelligent, and caring adults due to their contributions. Just yesterday, my youngest son, JJ, got his ACT college entrance exam scores in the mail. He got a 26. What do you suppose Scott Walker got? That's a good enough score to get into Wisconsin's flagship campus here at the UW Madison. But JJ won't be going to college next year because JJ is only in the 8th grade. with Scott Walker. That happened because of the educators in the Oregon School District, and that happened because of all of you. Teachers are only one small collection of voices among the hundreds of thousands of nurses, public employees, state and local workers who will be impacted by this bill. Our federal government has acknowledged our basic right to join together and make our collective voices heard by union membership. The Supreme Court has defended that right. But this budget bill will strip Wisconsin public workers of the protections and rights enjoyed by other Americans. This bill will regulate public workers to second-class status in America. Are we going to let that happen? No! Let's not forget how this budget crisis came about. And let's not let this governor and this Republican legislature shift the blame for what's wrong with America from corporate profiteers. And instead demonize our teachers, our nurses, and our public sector employees. These are the very people who create and maintain the fabric of our communities, educate our children, and care for us in our time of need. In Wisconsin, we have faced problems in the past, and we have faced them together. We cannot balance the state budget by splitting and dividing ourselves. Wisconsinites will share in the sacrifice as we have shared in prosperity. But we will not stand as bystanders and watch the rights of the teachers and public sector workers be destroyed to further a right-wing Republican agenda. Governor Walker, I will not sacrifice the safety of my streets. I will not sacrifice my hospital system. And I will not sacrifice the fantastic schools that have given my kids a future. There comes a time when every American must stand up and do their part to defend the freedoms that we cherish. We are doing that right here, and we are doing that right now. The future of the middle class, the future of America is what we are fighting for today. Governor Walker says we're just a few protesters trying to subvert the wishes of hard-working Wisconsinites. Well, let's let Governor Walker hear the voices of some hard-working Wisconsinites.
And the way it looks now all across this country, we're here to make sure that their rights in the workplace are upheld, that their rights as human beings, civil rights, the right to have a collective voice in the workplace must